So getting into our final news story is going to be a Central Texas mom, who made a Facebook post warning parents about Hocus Pocus 2. Hocus Pocus 2, as people know, we reviewed it just last week. That is the movie starring Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, and Kathy Najimy. So it's just a new sequel got released 29 years later on Disney Plus that you can watch it right now. And apparently this mom on Facebook had issues with it. We're going to be hearing the news story, then we're going to be kind of coming back to you people.
Controversy on social media after coming out against Disney's popular new Halloween movie, Hocus Pocus 2.
News 10's Rissa Shaw sat down with the mother who got emotional over her concerns for other families and the media they're consuming.
A worst case scenario is that you unleash hell on your kids and in your home.
Jamie Gooch is a mother of 3 and the owner of Gooch Family Farms in Troy.
I love everything.
First of all, like you can't be out in the news with a name like Gooch. I don't think that's just. I don't think you can be out in the news with a last name like that. Talking about your name is Gooch and you own the Gooch Family Farm. I don't think so, but you know. Yeah. But you know, let's. I'm sorry. I just had to mention this. Yeah.
I believe everything starts here.
This time of year,
I'm just
fall
laughing at
harvest
this
is
entire
heavily celebrated in their household,
unhinged
but Halloween
rant that
is
this
not.
poor woman
It grieves me.
is going on.
The thought of exposing our kids to darkness.
Gooch says there's a spiritual war being waged against homes in America, and Hollywood is part of the problem. And right now, one film in particular.
The whole movie is based on witches harvesting
not saying a word about the
blood
Christian
sacrifice.
priests that regularly groom children. The other priests that regularly fuck kids. But the witch movie on Disney Plus, that's the real evil.
So she's saying, people, she's saying that, they, common kind of stuff that you hear, stuff like this, from a lot of super religious people maybe is that, hey, Hollywood is evil and they're poisoning the kids with entertainment and media and things like that. And that's what Hocus Pocus 2 is doing because it has a movie about witches and witches about consuming the souls of kids. And I'm going to let her finish a little bit more.
In a recent Facebook post,
I was a little bit scared when I hit post because I was afraid of the reaction that I would get.
Gooch advises moms against letting their kids watch Hocus Pocus 2.
I believe whatever comes in our TV screens, there are things attached to that. I've seen for myself the things that I've watched with my eyes or heard over a TV screen, they become manifested in real life. Everybody thinks it's fake and innocent, but they could be casting any type of spell that they want to. Anything could be coming through that TV screen into your home.
We have to steal their souls.
She says most of the feedback has been positive, but she knows her opinion isn't for everyone, and that's okay. She says it's healthy to stir up conversations, just not cauldrons.
How do you feel? How do you respond to people who are going to say, you're crazy? It's just a movie. It's all in good fun.
It has been and always has been. Then the post was not for you. The post was for people that have been on the fence on the decisions they need to make for their family.
While Gooch's opinion may not be the most...
So I'll say this.
Oh, she sounds 100% like one of those people that is posting, like, when did Star Wars get all political when they announced that a woman was leading those movies?
I mean, I'll say this. I mean, you can. I mean, it's your right to let your kids watch whatever you want to watch. If you don't want to let them watch Hocus Pocus, that's fine. If you don't want to let them watch it, that's perfectly. I mean, if you think there's some weird shit going on, I know there's people. Like we had somebody on the show. We had Chase. His mama wouldn't let him watch Harry Potter. It's people. There was a whole big discussion on that about Harry Potter and that not letting the kids because it was all about witchcraft and stuff and everything like that. I mean, I think it's kind of ridiculous only for me because obviously, I mean, witchcraft isn't real and that's not real at all, but whatever. And then in Hocus Pocus 2, I mean, it's such a PG movie. I mean, really, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, they're witches and they're the bad guys of the movie and then they get beat in the movie.
Yeah, they're literally the bad guys. It's like it's like saying the witches are the evil one.
Yeah. Even though, I mean, spoiler alert, in Hocus Pocus 2, they do get beat by other witches. Spoiler alert. And the other girls become witches and kind of beat them and form their own coven. But they, they do get beaten. They're shown to be the bad guys of the movie there. And then the other kind of good witches, as you see, the kids, I mean, they work together and then they have friendship. And friendship, obviously, friendship wins in the end. It's always in these kids' movies, it's all about friendship and all that other stuff. What's some of your thoughts there?
Okay, the thing that I want to go back to is like one of her quotes. It's like, ask yourself if not only your mind, but your children's minds are strong enough to ward off the hypnotization and the bewitching trance that will be coming through the screen. It's like, what kind of weak fucking kids are you raising if they're going to get hypnotized by a Disney movie?
Oh, man. I don't know. I guess. I don't know. Maybe they get hypnotized by that witch from Game of Thrones and Ted Lasso. Maybe they get hypnotized by her sexy ass. Maybe. I mean, I gotta admit, I was a little hypnotized.
I did.
So I kind of maybe understand. I was a little hypnotized too. That cleavage, I was a little kind of hypnotized a little bit myself. So I kind of maybe understand.
I was too, but yeah, this is nothing new. We've heard this like entire like fake outrage throughout our fucking like young adulthood. I still remember like hearing a lot of my friends at school saying that they weren't allowed to like watch or read Harry Potter or like Lord of the Rings because like Satan and magic.
Yeah. And then
which they're more than fine with going to church every Sunday, so to put themselves at risk by getting touched by the priest.
I mean, arguments and stuff like this has been around for like ever because you had stuff like when people had rock music and heavy metal music and video games.
Back in the 80s, the satanic panic of Dungeons and Dragons. This is nothing new.
Yeah, which was just shown in Stranger Things, the latest season of that whole thing of like D&D, the whole satanic panic going around that, and it was a club for nerds. I mean, it was all fucking nerds that were doing that shit, playing.
Yeah, it was for a bunch of fucking dweebs.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, they weren't. You know what I mean? I mean, if
they couldn't hurt a fly if they tried.
Yeah, I mean, because if their whole thing, because I know like with a lot of these cults and rituals and stuff like that, it's all about sacrifice and virgin. If they did that, there'd be no people playing D&D, so it wouldn't even be a club. So they couldn't even do that. So I mean, there you go. So yeah, I mean, listen, I not say people with D&D. I mean, hey, now the image of the nerd has evolved. Joe Manganiello, he plays Magic. He plays D&D or Magic the Gathering, or yeah.
He's a D&D guy, and he bench press a car.
Yeah, Vin Diesel, he's a D&D guy as well. I think doesn't Henry Cavill play D&D too? I think so.
Yeah, Henry Cavill's a Warcraft guy.
Warcraft guy. Okay, so the image of the nerd is changing. It's evolving. You know what I mean? It's no longer just the glasses and pocket protector or anything like that. So that's great for them. Great for nerds. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of nothing new with this woman. I mean, Facebook post got attention. And hey, good for her. I mean, it's a little 15 minutes.
Yeah, take your 15 minutes of fame, go on like the conservative talk show circuit, get your like 15 minutes, go ahead and get your like onservative corporate sponsorship for like all of 6 months while you're still relevant.
Yeah.
To then like post a bunch of other bullshit takes in order to desperately cling to that fame that you had for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. So just something fun to talk about that just happened, a little ridiculous, like especially over Hocus Pocus 2. It's probably the most news or press this movie's gotten probably in its runtime. Probably probably make more people watch it and go like, oh shit, they killing kids and shit in this.
Satan, let's go.
Yeah. Which I can't even remember. Do they even kill anybody in Hocus Pocus 2? I can't remember. I know they do in the first one. I can't remember.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I can't even remember. Yeah. So, but hey, people, check out our review of Hocus Pocus 2, which is on YouTube, youtube.com. Hey, the afternoon tune. If you want to hear our thoughts about it. Yeah. So we're gonna be getting out of here.
Yeah, if you want to hear our thoughts and let you guys know if your children are at risk by being hypnotized by the evils of that film.
Let us know.